Hello there, Heather here again. I am going to try to get you thinking today about idols. We all know about the idols in the Bible, like the golden calf that all the Israelites worshipped. But I want to think more of what idols could mean for us today. I had a huge, major idol for such a long time. For me, it was a want of a happy family. Because I struggled with low self-esteem, and because I struggled with being able to conceive, and because my first husband had some mental issues going on, and because my second husband was an addict, I never was able to achieve that happy family that I always wanted. And it started to have a life of its own. Like, I would constantly think about how I wanted that family. And one day a friend of mine pointed out to me that it had become my idol, that I literally wanted that happy family more than I wanted God. That was hard for me to face. Like, I literally took one of my beach trips. Now I go out to the beach and I walk on the beach when I want to talk to God and when I want to get answers or listen to him. I find that the beach is a great place to do that. And so I walked on the beach that one night and I thought about how much I wanted that family. And finally, this was almost like dying to me, like letting this go, because I really didn't want to. Finally, I just had a conversation with God where I was like, even if it means being single forever, even if it means having to parent Angel and Bree on my own, even if it means being alone, it would be worth it to love you. And I meant every word that I said. I meant it all. God was that important to me that if he wanted me to be single, then I had to admit that that was his plan for my life, that that was his wish and his want. And I had to be okay and trust him enough. And so I gave up that idol to him. But what I learned is sometimes when you give up an idol to God, you get back so much more in return. Literally right after I gave up that idol, somebody I had met and become interested in through a widow and widowers group actually showed interest in me. And before I knew it, we were involved in a relationship. I mean, it literally went pretty quickly. And I asked God all along the way for confirmation that this is what he wanted. And I think he was giving me this family because I was willing to give it up. Just kind of like Abraham with Isaac. You know, he was willing to give up Isaac to God so he didn't have to. And I think because I was honestly in my heart willing to give up this idea of a happy family, that God gave me exactly what I wanted. Now, I can't say every day is like one of those cartoons that you see with the happy family, or the sitcoms rather. I can't say every day is like that. But I will say that I am really happy with my family. But I am learning to make sure in my family that I still manage to put God first. Because that is first and foremost what's important. And I think by putting God first, then I can love my family better. And that's something I think we forget sometimes. I think we focus on our family so much that we forget that the focus is supposed to be on God first. I mean, our family becomes our idol if we focus on them, or we spend more time trying to help our family than we do connecting with God. And it's hard not to do that in today's society. I mean, there's a lot of pressure to make sure you put your kids first and foremost in your life, or your husband first and foremost in your life. And though it should go husband and then kids, even before that should be God. And sometimes he gets lost in the shuffle, even if you love him. Life just gets busy. But we have to make a conscious effort to always put God first, because we don't want those idols to get in the way of being able to do whatever God's will is for us, because God knows us better than anybody, and his will is better than any life we could have down here, family or no family. And I trust him. I trust him with my future and what my will is going to be, and with my family. my family that now includes my new husband and 2 new daughters. I love my new family, but I love God more. And sometimes you have to keep telling yourself that, or escape for a little while and focus on God, because it's so easy to put him in the backseat. And I never want to do that, which is part of the reasons I'm doing this video too, because I want to always put what God wants for me ahead of what I want for me. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for listening. I love y'all, and have yourself a good day.